Hello viewers, I'm your host Pratiksha Mishra with another episode of South Asia Focus. Let's begin the show. India aims to become a developed nation by 2047 with the government focusing on attracting investments, boosting industries and services and creating more opportunities for its people. In the first budget of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's third term, key decisions were made to boost the economy and generate more jobs and investment opportunities. We have this report.
Business and political leaders have praised Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman's budget, her eighth and the first under PM Modi's third term. The budget aims to position India as a developed nation by 2047, focusing on the middle class to boost domestic demand by slashing personal tax rates. People earning up to rupees 1.28 million, approximately $14,800 annually, will be exempt from taxes, up from rupees 700,000, approximately $8,140. Tax rates are also lowered for higher incomes. To offset revenue loss, capital spending will increase to rupees 11.21 trillion, approximately $135 billion in 2025-26, up from 10.8 trillion rupees, approximately 122 billion.
ये हर भारतीय के सपनों को पूरा करने वाला बजट है। हमने कई सेक्टर्स युवाओं के लिए खोल दिए हैं। सामान्य नागरिक विकसित भारत के मिशन को ड्राइव करने वाला है। ये बजट एक फोर्स मल्टीप्लायर है। ये बजट सेविंग्स को बढ़ाएगा, इन्वेस्टमेंट को बढ़ाएगा, कंजम्पशन को बढ़ाएगा और ग्रोथ को भी तेजी से बढ़ाएगा।
The Budget 2025 lays the foundation for transforming India's industrial and logistics landscape, focusing on manufacturing, warehousing and supply chains. The integration of PM Gati Shakti's digital infrastructure, Bharat Trade Net for international trade and air cargo enhancements will reduce logistics costs and boost efficiency. These measures, aligned with Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, aim to reduce import dependency and improve India's competitiveness in global trade.
This was the full-fledged budget. After the government won election, they have shown the roadmap for the next 4 or 5 years, how they are going to focus on Make in India, focusing on the export promotion, focusing on SMEs, and how do you focus on 1 lakh SMEs and increased the credit enhancement for them. For the large corporate and infrastructure sector, they have authorized NAFED to issue the credit enhancement.
The government has announced key measures for the agriculture, insurance and manufacturing sectors. To boost agriculture, a national mission will promote high-yielding crops, focusing on pulses and cotton. The subsidized credit limit for farmers has been increased to 500,000 rupees, approximately $5,700 from 300,000 rupees, approximately $3,500. In the insurance sector, the FDI limit has been raised from 74% to 100% to increase penetration and attract foreign investment. A national manufacturing mission is proposed to support Make in India, focusing on industries, including micro, small and medium enterprises. The government will also help establish India as a global toy hub, emphasizing clusters, skills and a sustainable manufacturing ecosystem. To boost the footwear and leather sector, a focused product scheme will support design, component manufacturing and machinery for non-leather footwear alongside leather products.
I do think that the focus area of this budget on private sector investment, public-private participation, as well as the fact that the middle class will be encouraged to spend more, I think all of these are huge positives. Also, the fact that the government now so openly acknowledges, if you see this economic survey in the last, the government has openly acknowledged what it needs to do and what it's not doing so well. And then for the government to then come out and say, we acknowledge this is a bottleneck and we'll address it, I think that's a positive too.
The finance minister also emphasized on tourism's role in job creation, with initiatives to promote infrastructure, skill development and ease of travel. The Ministry of Tourism's budget for 2025-2026 has been significantly increased to Rs 2,541 crore, approximately $305 million, up from Rs 850 crore, approximately $102 million in 2024-2025. The 2025 budget outlines a transformative vision for India's growth, focusing on job creation, infrastructure and boosting domestic industries.
The Grand Mahakumbh Mela in the Indian city of Prayagraj has emerged as a global spiritual beacon, attracting thousands of foreign nationals, diplomats and saints. From Bhutan's king taking a sacred dip in the holy Ganga to foreign diplomats immersing themselves in its divine waters, all are embracing India's rich ancient traditions. The Mela's mysticism continues to captivate and inspire global devotees as international saints and pilgrims gather to experience a profound spiritual awakening. Take a look. On the screen, a vibrant group of foreign devotees can be seen joyously chanting Om Namah Shivaya at the Mahakumbh Mela 2025, a moment that beautifully captures the essence of cultural exchange and spiritual unity. The Mahakumbh Mela in India's Prayagraj city is drawing people from every corner of the world, breaking all barriers. From humble seekers to prominent dignitaries, all are converging on this sacred land in search of spiritual peace and a deeper connection with the divine. Among the distinguished attendees was Bhutan's king Jigme Khesar Namgyel Wangchuk, who recently took part in the grand event. The Bhutanese monarch arrived at the revered Triveni Sangam, where the holy Ganga, Yamuna and the Vedic Saraswati rivers converge. With profound respect, the king offered prayers and performed sacred rituals, fully immersed in the divine significance of the moment. His presence at the holy confluence underscores the global appeal of the Kumbh, highlighting its power to unite pilgrims from all walks of life and inspiring a deep sense of devotion from around the world. The event of Mahakumbh transcends caste, creed and differences as millions come together to take a holy dip at the Sangam, representing the true spirit of Ek Bharat Shreshtha Bharat.
संत महंत ऋषि मुनि ज्ञानी विद्वान सामान्य मानवी सब एक हो जाते हैं, सब एक साथ त्रिवेणी में डुबकी लगाते हैं। यहाँ जातियों का भेद खत्म हो जाता है, संप्रदायों का टकराव मिट जाता है, करोड़ों लोग एक ध्येय एक विचार से जुड़ जाते हैं।
The entire world is watching the Mahakumbh Mela with a sense of awe and curiosity as this ancient spiritual gathering continues to captivate global attention. Recently, a distinguished foreign delegation comprising diplomats and heads of missions from numerous countries took a sacred dip at the Triveni Sangam and shared their joy and reverence for this auspicious occasion.
When I think of India, I think of it as a place where humanity first came to light, and also if we think about the confluence of rivers and seas, it's a place where there's spirit in the landscape. Great to be here today.
The experience is phenomenal. It's a once in a lifetime experience, as you know. The Zimbabwean ambassador to India, India and Zimbabwe share excellent bilateral relations, and part of our diplomatic life is also to pursue cultural, or what we call public diplomacy, and this is public diplomacy. This is cultural diplomacy, where we seek to understand the Indian country deeply. And I must say that we have enjoyed so much great hospitality, and we remain grateful to the Uttar Pradesh state for hosting us.
Foreign saints and devotees from across the globe are joyfully offering their presence at the Triveni Sangam during the Mahakumbh Mela, contributing to a vibrant and spiritually charged atmosphere. Their participation adds a global dimension to this ancient event, turning the Mela into an extraordinary gathering of people united by a common quest for inner peace and spiritual enlightenment.
ये भारतीय संस्कृति की शक्ति है, ये भारतीय संस्कृति की ग्रेटनेस है। अब देखो इतने लोग, हर तरफ लोग किसके लिए आ रहे हैं? कोई रॉक कॉन्सर्ट नहीं है, कोई स्पोर्टिंग इवेंट नहीं है, बाकी पूरा विश्व में लोग बियर्ड में इकट्ठे किसके लिए? स्पोर्टिंग इवेंट या रॉक कॉन्सर्ट या कोई लॉटरी हो। यहाँ केवल अपनी दिल का, आत्मा का लॉटरी खुलता है।
You can't even explain it. I've been now, this is my third one. I went in 2010 to Hardwar, 2013 here, and now again, and all of the craziness and things are changing, but beneath all of that is just something that doesn't change.
The Mahakumbh Mela serves as a reminder that despite our differences, we are all bound by the same universal longing for peace, harmony, and connection to something greater than ourselves. It is here at this sacred confluence that the world truly becomes one. Time now for Asia This Week, the stories from across the continent.
Thailand cut power supply, fuel and internet to some border areas with Myanmar on Wednesday. It's an attempt to choke scam syndicates operating out of there that have become a growing security concern. Scam compounds in Southeast Asia are suspected to have entrapped hundreds of thousands of people in illegal online and telecom operations, generating billions of dollars annually, according to a 2023 UN report. Thailand has been concerned about the scam operations' impact on its vital tourism sector and has sought to allay safety concerns of visitors from China, which is a key source market. Footage released on February 5 showed the final stage of Iran's air defense drills taking place in unidentified locations across the country. The country's long-range air defense system reportedly intercepted and destroyed a hostile target during the drills. The event followed Israel's attack on Iran late last year. According to the reports by Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps media, last month, Iran began military drills in the west of the country with high-ranking commanders. Buddhist monks from several parts of the world converged at Bodh Gaya, the pilgrim city in India's eastern state of Bihar, to participate in a religious procession on February 3. Folk dancers accompanied the monks who took out the ashes of Buddha and two of his prominent disciples for public display. Devout Buddhists and even others considered the viewing of the urn containing the ashes of Lord Buddha as divine blessing. Devotees from 10 countries, including Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Mongolia, came to see the procession.
Moving on. In a landmark decision, the International Criminal Court has sought arrest warrants for senior Taliban officials, including Supreme Leader Habibullah Akhundzada, accusing them of committing crimes against humanity through their ongoing persecution of Afghan women and girls. This groundbreaking move represents a significant intensification of global legal efforts to hold the Taliban accountable for their widespread gender-based oppression. A report.
The Chief Prosecutor of the International Criminal Court, Karim Khan, announced on January 23rd that his office had formally applied for arrest warrants against Hebatullah Akhundzada and Abdul Hakim Haqqani, the Chief Justice of the Taliban's so-called Islamic Emirate. The charges: crimes against humanity under Article 7, 1H of the Rome Statute, persecution on gender grounds. The prosecutor's office has cited ongoing and systematic oppression of Afghan women and girls since the Taliban's return to power on August 15, 2021. The brutal regime has denied them access to education, employment, and basic freedoms, forcing them into a life of subjugation under the guise of religious rule.
After a period of deferral, my office has been independently and impartially examining alleged crimes committed against Afghan civilians. After a thorough investigation, and on the basis of evidence collected, my office submits that there are reasonable grounds to believe that the Supreme Leader of the Taliban, Hebatullah Akhundzada, and the Chief Justice of the so-called Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, Abdul Hakim Haqqani, bear criminal responsibility for the crime against humanity of persecution on gender grounds under Article 7.1H of the Rome Statute.
The investigation into Afghanistan has been one of the longest and most complicated in ICC history, first initiated in 2007. But after years of political and legal roadblocks, this marks the first substantial move towards justice for Afghan women who have endured relentless oppression. Since seizing control, the Taliban has methodically dismantled women's rights. In December 2022, women were banned from universities after previously being barred from secondary education. In May 2022, they were forced to wear full body coverings in public. By November 2022, they were prohibited from entering amusement parks. In July 2023, the Taliban shut down all beauty salons, one of the last public spaces where women could socialize freely. Furthermore, last year in December, the Taliban government said it will close all national and foreign non-governmental organizations or NGOs employing women in Afghanistan.
According to the agreement that was signed in Doha between the Taliban and the United States and some other countries, that they were to provide full equality of treatment as far as women are concerned. But they are not behaving according to that, and they had said that Taliban 2.0 is going to be very different from Taliban 1.0 when they were in power in the 1990s and they had persecuted. And right now also, whether it is repression, whether it is torture, whether it is not allowing women to go out at all, they are really treated as second-class citizens or worse. So I think the treatment is terrible, treatment is atrocious, particularly coming after, from 2001 till 2021, 20 years, the Afghan women have got much greater freedom.
International pressure has been mounting against the Taliban's draconian rule. The United Nations and numerous human rights organizations have labeled their actions as gender apartheid, and calls for formal recognition of this crime under international law have intensified. Despite international condemnation, the Taliban has remained defiant, dismissing these allegations and insisting that their interpretation of Islamic law dictates their governance. However, with ICC arrest warrants now pending, the pressure on the Taliban is intensifying.
It's a very significant move because I think it's not very often that ICC has really issued such warrants against, on the basis of gender. There have been a couple of cases, I think, when men have been forced to go into army, etc., and against women. But I think this is issuing warrants against the leaders of a particular country. In the current case, leader of Afghanistan, the Supreme Leader Haibatullah Akhundzadeh, and also the Chief Justice Haqqani. So this is very significant, and of course it could incentivize some of the other countries also, some of the other national courts also to take up this matter. The pressure on the Taliban is still on, but I think this is a very unique move. It's a very symbolic move, and it could increase the pressure on the Taliban to improve the condition of women.
Last year, Australia, Canada, Germany and the Netherlands took the Taliban to the International Court of Justice for gross and systematic violations of the UN Convention against Gender Discrimination. This ICC case adds another layer of legal scrutiny and may force the Taliban to reconsider its policies as it seeks legitimacy on the world stage. While many Afghan women have fled the country, those who remain face a bleak reality under the Taliban's rule. Activists say that cases like this are crucial to keeping their plight in global focus and ensuring justice is served.
Let's now talk about this year's Basant Panchami, which was a vibrant blend of spirituality and joy. Devotees gathered at sacred river ghats for holy dips, seeking purification and spiritual renewal. In Prayagraj, thousands bathed at the Triveni Sangam, embracing the festival's sacred significance. The day continued with reverence during Saraswati Puja as people worshipped the goddess of wisdom adorned with bright yellow flowers. Take a look.
Basant Panchami is a vibrant and auspicious festival that marks the arrival of spring in Indian subcontinent. This year's celebration was a breathtaking fusion of vibrant colors, profound spirituality and boundless joy, perfectly blending traditional customs with lively festivities. The air was alive with anticipation as people across India and neighbouring countries gathered to observe this sacred occasion. Devotees gathered at the ghats of the Ganges, Yamuna and other holy rivers seeking purification and spiritual enlightenment. The city of Prayagraj in India witnessed a massive influx of devotees on the occasion of Basant Panchami, with thousands taking a holy dip in the sacred Triveni Sangam. After the holy bath, as the sun rose higher, it was time for Saraswati Puja, a celebration of knowledge, wisdom and learning. The goddess of wisdom was adorned with bright yellow flowers and placed on beautifully decorated altars.
ये हमारे सनातन में बसंत पंचमी का दिन बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण होता है। महाकुंभ पर्व पे मौनी अमावस्या के बाद ये नवरात्रि का भी हमारा पर्व आता है, जिसमें बसंत पंचमी का दिन बड़ा ही महत्वपूर्ण है। माँ सरस्वती की इस पे है जो सब पे कृपा बरसती है। आज के ही दिन हम है जो विद्या के सागर में हम है जो गोते लगाते हैं, जिससे कि हमारी अज्ञानता दूर हो, ज्ञान का प्रकाश हो।
On the occasion of Basant Panchami, a beautiful tradition unfolded in Nepal, where many toddlers began their educational journey by writing their first words with chalk at Saraswati temples. Celebrated on the Shukla Panchami of the Nepali month, this vibrant festival is especially significant for students, as it is believed that worshipping goddess Saraswati brings success and blessings in their academic pursuits.
सरस्वती मन्दिरमा चाहिँ आज विशेष सरस्वती देवीको पूजा आराधना गरिन्छ। त्यो विद्यागीत ध्वनि को हुनाले अब बच्चाहरूलाई पनि यसो मन्दिरमा ल्याएर बच्चाहरूलाई पनि ज्ञान बढोस् विद्यागत धनी हुनाले बच्चाहरूलाई पनि हामीहरूलाई पनि सबैलाई हिन्दू धर्मग्रन्थ अनुसार हामी चलन चलीमा आएको यो यस्तै ज्ञान बुद्धि विवेक बढोस् भन्ने हिसाबले नै हामीले बच्चाहरूलाई पनि ल्यायौँ हामी पनि आएर हामी सरस्वती माताको दर्शन गर्न आएको।
After the puja, the excitement shifted to the open skies, where the annual kite flying tradition took center stage. Across rooftops, parks and fields, people of all ages gathered with vibrant, colorful kites. The sight of the sky dotted with kites of every shape and size was a spectacle to behold. The celebration of Basant Panchami was a true reflection of the spirit of spring, fresh, vibrant and full of life.
A day of devotion, renewal and festive spirit, Basant Panchami brings us closer to the divine. And with that, we come to the end of this week's episode. See you next week. Goodbye and take care.